here to the scene, making sure all these people are getting out safely from this this facility there in San Bernardino. Do I have Sanjay, guys?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, let me bring in our chief medical correspondent, Sanjay Gupta. Sanjay, I mean, here you now have the medical thread of this story. Gunshot wounds. We saw the triage. Here you go from the air. You can see the pictures of the triage area being set up outside of this facility. How does this hospital, Loma Linda University Medical Center, how did they handle this?
This is becoming a situation that, unfortunately, many of these hospitals have started to try and train for. Several things, Brooke. First of all, how to basically try and take care of people, or at least get to people in a situation that is still active. I mean, typically in the past, people would always talk about keeping first responder personnel in what are known as cold areas until they were secure. You can't do that. It can take too long to get to people who need help. Second of all, I think, Brooke, as you just mentioned, setting up triage areas on site. There's always been this idea that get people quickly to a hospital, but again, for sometimes that's not possible because there may be too many people that need to go there, or because the situation is just not secure enough to make that happen. So actually being able to take care of people on site, and then you have a level 1 trauma center. It's a big hospital. It's going to be able to take care of a lot of patients. They are prepping. They're pulling people in, personnel. I'm sure they have some redundancy in the hospital that they're going to try and take advantage of in terms of beds and operating rooms and all of that. But that is an ongoing situation. That's what happens in these hospitals as soon as they start to hear about this.
Sanjay, let me get you to stand by here as we're getting more eyewitness sound there on the ground from San Bernardino. Let's listen to that.
Inside the building, I talked to the police. There are casualties.
What'd your daughter tell you?
She told me that they were. She thought it was a drill because they've been practicing drills. They went outside. They were told to go back in. She was shuttled into a room. Police showed up. They were taken outside. Thank God there weren't more casualties.
Did she text or call?
She did. She's outside with the fire department right now.
Okay. Did she text you earlier?
She just texted me right now.
Okay.
And what did she tell you about what she saw and what she heard?
Well, she wasn't too clear. She's shaken up, and I did ask the police lady, and she said that there were some casualties.
What did she see?
I haven't talked to her about that. She's pretty shaken up.
And you said you heard something?
Yeah, we both heard something. I got the wrong bus.
Behind the building.
I was going home. I got bipolar. I raced a lot because I have a disorder. I was racing over to go to the bus going up, and I turned on from XPX. I was walking outside, and bum, 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 and she was playing, and all of a sudden, boom! It was like right here.
Boom, 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 boom,
And they
boom.
said they're on the loose.
Yeah, and I was right behind the building, and I heard all the
I
shots.
started walking down by the Outback to get away, and people out there, and they heard. So I don't know what's going on here, but I was kind of scared about
You don't have people, friends, family members?
No. I have a disability myself, and I just I know where it was at, and like I said, I was kind of in the area, and boom, boom, and it was
what goes on at that facility?
It's all
It was a Camp here, is what I heard.
It's an inland valley regional center.
It's a regional for disabled. Disabilities.
They coordinate bus rides and things.
Yes,
they coordinate bus rides and for disabilities, people with disabilities.
And from what you know,
my loved one is safe, and they need to do something. This is crazy. There's just too many shootings, too much bad stuff going on here. I mean, you hear about it, but
Too much bad stuff. These shootings are happening far too often. What seems to make this different than some of the other shootings we've been covering is the fact that there are according to police, 3 different shooters or suspects. And not only did they commit this heinous crime at lunchtime in San Bernardino, in this facility that treats folks with disabilities and special needs in the community, they left. So that's obviously a concern, and that they were armed to the teeth. They had body armor, prepared, long guns, according to law enforcement, and they left a suspicious package. I have Elizabeth Mendita on the phone. Elizabeth works across the street with the School for the Blind. Elizabeth, let me just be the first to say our hearts go out to all of you there in San Bernardino. I'm so sorry this is happening. Tell me, are you okay? What are you seeing?
We are okay. We are just across the street from where all the events are happening. But we are in lockdown by order of the police. So all of our students are safe here. And all of our students are physically impaired. They can't see. They're blind.
Right.
So we're trying to keep them calm so they can, not get too nervous and then have medical issues in here. So we're trying to do the best that we can and then listen to the police. A couple of our drivers did witness the shooting, and a couple of the employees were able to run to our building and take protection. So we helped them out, and then the police, they took them to where they could be interviewed for more details. But as far as the school is concerned, it's on lockdown, and we are all safe in here for now.
I'm glad you're safe in there, Elizabeth. I know, of course, your children are blind. Are you able to see?
Yes, I'm a driver. I bring and I transport the students, and there's really no minors in here. Most of them are senior citizens.
Oh, okay.
So they're all elderly, but they are all safe. They're all safe.
So outside of, I don't know if they told you to stay away from glass or stay away from the front of your facility, but can you just tell me more about this area here, this South Waterman and Orange Show Road?
Yeah, Park Center is like a horseshoe street. It goes in one side and ends, coming all the way around. So all the businesses that are on this street right here are basically locked down. We can't get out. Waterman is closed at the Orange Show all the way to Hospitality Lane. So there's no traffic currently being allowed because the police, the SWAT, the investigators, the detectives, they have taken over the whole facility. So they're protecting every single business that is in this horseshoe of Park Center circle.
I understand.
So I
was
waiting
for more information. I was talking to some women who work at the charter school just around the area. They were describing the 450 kindergarten through 8th graders that are currently on lockdown where they are. Have you gotten any guidance from law enforcement as far as how long they anticipate? I mean, could this go for hours into the late afternoon for you? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea. They just told us to lock all the doors. Do not let anybody in or out unless it's an officer. And we are waiting for their call to see when they can.
Elizabeth.
We got to take these people back home, so we have to wait on them to allow us, to let us know that it's safe for us to move the people. So right now, we're just waiting for more instructions.
Understand. Elizabeth, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it. I want you to go back and please be with the people who are in your care. Harry Hout, go ahead.
Yeah, you look into this area here, and I'm talking, thinking about the escape. But this area was probably picked for that, also for that specific reason. It looks like they knew they can get out of that area pretty quickly, or can get onto a main road and get out of there. Now, this is so well planned. I would suspect that we're going to find that black SUV somewhere. And they're going to switch vehicles.
Oh,
all right?
You mean
right.
We'll find the SUV
so well planned.
without the shooter?
There's a good chance they already dumped that car because they know that the police are going to be stopping every black SUV that you see within a 20-mile area of this. All right? So, but looking at the plan and exactly how they conducted this whole operation, that we're probably going to find that black SUV abandoned somewhere, and of course, hopefully we're going to be able to find some evidence from inside.
Hopefully they'll quickly find those shooters as well. Kristen Myricks is joining the conversation. She actually works at this center there in San Bernardino where the shooting took place. Kristen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Kristen, so let me get this straight. This happened at your workplace. You didn't go to work today.
Yeah, I think I'd rather be sick today than have to be there. I have been in contact with a couple of coworkers. I mean, I do hate that they're having to go through this, but I'm glad I wasn't there today.
Can you tell me what those coworkers have shared with you, if you don't mind?
They don't really know much either. All I know is they were evacuated, and that there was an event going on in one of the buildings there on the campus, and they think it had something to do, or the person was somehow with the event. That's all we know.
Do you know about the event? Any more about that?
No, I don't.
You don't?
This time of year, we have lots of events going on there.
Tell me more about the community you serve. I understand there's several hundred people who work at Inland Regional Center. Tell me more about the services you provide to San Bernardino and Riverside counties.
We provide services for the developmentally disabled. We help them with housing and with programs. And we have clients that are, from infants to elderly.
In terms of this building, in order to go to work, talk to me about security.
We have badges. There are gates. We all have to swipe our badges in order to get not only into the campus but into each building. It's tight.
Metal detectors, anything like that?
No metal detectors.
Do you have any I understand that there were alarms going off and that there were drills. I was hearing from a father whose daughter works in the building that you all have been going through drills. And I don't know if it was in a case like this or for something else, but is that the case?
We always do. They're very, very good about staying on top of, fire drills. We do have what we call active shooter training.
You do?
Yeah, we do.
When did that begin?
It started last year. And I do think that they were starting now, they're going through the rounds now with that training.
So active shooter training happening at your workplace, and here we have potentially 3 active shooters at lunchtime on what should have been a normal day. What about cameras in your building, Kristen? Do you have cameras throughout your workplace?
I don't know. There are people that think we have cameras. There are people that think that there aren't cameras. I don't really know.
And how many people work in your building?
It's hard to say. There are 3 buildings on the campus. And then there's another building in Riverside. So I do know there are over 600 employees total, but I don't know exactly how many employees are in each building.
And I don't know if you flipped on the television, but we've been watching pictures over the last hour and a half of your coworkers walking out, hands up in the air. And I don't know if you've been able to recognize the specific building from where they have been exiting. Can you tell me more about that?
I've recognized some faces.
You have.
So they have evacuated. It looks like all buildings. Or they are doing all buildings. I don't know. I can't tell, if everyone's out or not, but I recognize faces from more than one building, I'll say that.
You have. And this was, lunchtime. What would people be doing on campus in these different buildings around 11, 12 o'clock?
The thing is, some people, they walk around the campus. There's a nice little trail around the campus. Some people take walks. Some people have lunch there on campus. Some leave for lunch, of course. And this intersection you have to come out of this intersection to leave the campus. So, anybody that would have done anything would have been affected by this.
How many gates are there?
I can't tell you right now. There's...
All right. Just wondering if there would be different entry and exit points within the parking lot for the shooters to gain access. And so it's interesting to me that you're saying you have to have a badge to badge in. Obviously, someone could have gotten someone else's badge, or who knows how someone could have, by force, gotten through these gates.
You don't need a badge to get into the parking lot, but from the parking lot into the building, or into the gates, you definitely need a badge.
Understand. Kristen Myricks, thank you so much for your time. I am so sorry about your colleagues, but glad you weren't at work today. Please feel better, and thank you for your time. Sanjay Gupta is still with us, our chief medical correspondent. Understand, Sanjay, you have some new information. Go ahead.
Well, we're hearing that one of the busiest hospitals sort of in the area